Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. We're about to fight a giant in an open field, which is something I'm a little concerned about. It's not my favorite way to fight a giant. I prefer to be up on a wall shooting down at him while he has a stupid expression on his face and then dies from his wounds. But we do have maybe the giant slayingest army that exists in the entire world. I bet that's about right. So if anybody can do this, Ungram Iron Fist can. Honestly, Ungram Iron Fist might be able to do it by himself.
Attack!
I'm definitely gonna have Ungram try to 1v1 that giant. We have to, right? We have to give it a shot. So, who wants to give 5 melee attack and 6% weapon damage to all of their allies nearby? It should probably be somebody pretty tough, which I guess means this really high rank Longbeard. The game doesn't think we're gonna do very well here. I gotta admit, I don't love the number of Black Orcs we're looking at. We'll figure it out. I'm confident that the gyrocopter, the gyro bomber, rather, will play a significant part in that phase of the battle. So we have some boar boys, we have some squig hoppers, which are armor-piercing anti-infantry, and then some squigs, which damage dealers with rampage and stuff. The Black Orcs are definitely the most concerning thing. So they have Wurzag, and they have a Goblin Shaman, and they have an Orc Shaman, but because all of your casters draw from a shared resource pool, this isn't actually much worse than them just having Wurzag. Honestly, I feel like these two slots in their army are basically wasted. We do have to be wary of the Skulkers. I think these things are pretty dangerous. But that aside, I think we're in pretty good shape here. And of course, as always, I expect this to be a battle that comes down mostly to making them give up, rather than killing them all. Squigs are large, too, right? I think that's pretty good for us. So let's set up on the flattest part of the battlefield. Not, like, super flat. Have about half the Longbeards on this side. We do want to be a little bit careful about range. And they do have cavalry as well, so I have to watch out for the circle around maneuvers. Man, I hope we can get Ungram Iron Fist some one-on-one time with that giant. I really want to see what'll happen. Okay, so obviously the catapults need to focus on Black Orcs as much as possible. I probably want to hold the gyro bomber in reserve. I don't want it to get shot at very... I guess they don't really have a lot to shoot at it with. I want to keep it away from that thing for the moment, but it can probably harass units as they come in. I don't think I actually want to drop bombs. Or you know what? Actually, I probably can. I was going to say I don't want to drop bombs until they actually commit their forces. Thinking about the rather large explosion footprint of the gyrocopter squadron. But actually, this one large, powerful bomb probably can just go right into a unit of Black Orcs here. And we get to fire while we're moving, too. Man, this is very good. Oh, they're going to cast magic on me. Eat that, Black Orcs. Oh, where's another unit of them? I guess they're all on this side. Our units are doing okay here. Focusing fire in a sensible way. That's a pretty devastating opening phase of the battle. That problem's solved. Oh, I should actually, like, move my units in to defend. That's right. Like, I did this wing formation thing, and then I didn't actually close around the ranged. So it's too busy dropping bombs on people, because it's a lot of fun. Alright, you guys need to step up. It looks like they are not probably going to wing much cavalry around here. We can use the giant slayers to still hold the flank. They got 1 unit of boar boy biggins over here. Giant slayers, get on them. I guess this is the side Ungrim's on. This has a 120-second cooldown. Yeah, I don't want to use it yet. I want to use it when it's giant time, which is soon. For right now, just do that. Step up a little bit more, and yeah, the rest of our units are doing the right thing. It's a matter of time. Okay. We're getting like poisoned or some crap here. Where's my gyrocopter? Could you maybe come and handle this a little bit? Somebody's got to go kill that lord at some point, but we'll get there. So these are the squig hoppers, not the... Okay, there's the squigs over there. So we got our units moving in, hopefully in time. Yeah, I totally just let this happen. That's embarrassing. Try to catch their charges, because we know there's another one coming, right? We are not going to get any one-on-one time, so let's try to re-target the Longbeards over to here. Gyrocopter's getting in position to do his thing. They actually just charged directly into the Longbeards, which I do not think is a very good play on their part. So on this side, we've almost won this part of the battle already. We can probably afford to turn a lot of the ranged over to here. How about these squigs, because they are not very well armored. You guys have done a good job of getting the number of this cavalry charge. I mean, it wasn't a big surprise what they were after. And I'm a little worried that Ungrim's not going to be able to get through to the giant now. Yeah, alright, just fight the squigs. I'm disappointed, but I'm sure he'll have time. And we get to play our giant slayers against the giant, which I'm sure is going to go alright. Is there any... It feels like there's something else I need to do, but no, I guess not. You guys should probably try to focus on the black orcs over here. You guys should probably try to focus on... the giant? Thing looks like it is in need of a little pin cushioning. Oh, we have this to worry about too. We have range on that, right? We must. Nope, it just is not in range of us either. Yeah, it's just also not in range of us. It could shoot at the guys fighting the giant, I guess. That would suck. Ow. Man, they really get flung. This fanatic attack is very unfortunate for us. Here comes Wurzag's on a boar. That's not good for him. You're actually taking a really long time to kill those guys. Why don't you focus on a place where you can do some more morale damage? Yeah, the poor giant slayers are getting torn apart by getting hit in the flanks. We're not getting a good read on exactly how good they are at fighting giants over here. You guys can probably go out there and grab them as well. Damage and resistance and yeah, just everybody fight everything. Get over there. You guys could probably stand to retarget. Here's how we'll deal with that. And then you all can, like, just manually target the back of that crowd.
I am the Slayer King!
Go, Slayer King, go! Get through! He needs to fight a lord or a giant or something. He is wasted on these guys. Yeah, get Wurzag, that's good enough. A little hard to see him in there, I assume he's doing it. The gyrocopter's working the black orcs over. You guys should probably not just stand there and take that. It does look like the Giant Slayer is getting... or the Giant is getting mulched a little bit. Look at him. Ooh, okay, wow. Maybe we're not the ones doing the mulching there. Actually, kill these guys. What am I doing? We need to move our flamethrower guys up. They're a little outside of their optimal range. Okay, looks like we got there. Well, sorry, I thought they were all breaking, but they all just were hitting low morale at the same time. Melee buff for everybody. Melee defense buff mostly. Alright, it looks like Warzag did some good work there. Drink his speed potion so he runs the 3 steps faster, because he's not going to get to use it this battle otherwise. Get him, Warzag! No, not Warzag. Get him, Ungrim! I have a special place in my heart for Warzag, because he was the guy I was playing in my first ever Total War campaign. Alright, close victory. It was a scary army, you know? Longbeards took a beating. Giant Slayers took a beating. But on the whole, pretty good. I'm curious what trait we're going to get from him. His whole thing is that he and his army get extra physical resistance rather than armor. So a lot of the normal increasing your ability to kill tough guy tricks of improving armor penetration don't actually work that well against Warzag and his savage orcs. But then he went and abandoned his gimmick and put a bunch of black orcs in his army, so I'm assuming his gimmick will be like Ungrim gets a bunch of physical resist, or Ungrim's whole army gets 10% physical resist, or something like that. Either one I'd be really very glad to have. Also, I feel like we haven't really fancied up our army too much. He's no longer running around with, basic dwarf warriors, but he's still only on Longbeards instead of, hammerers and what are those, iron breakers and stuff. It seems to be working. We're hitting a lot of, the top-tier orc stuff. There's not really a lot they can do to you that's worse than throwing a bunch of black orcs and a giant at you. It may just be that the orcs are destined to lose in a conflict that goes long enough between the orcs and the dwarves, because the dwarf tech top end is just way better. Got that classic first battle of the episode, extremely long loadout time. I was pricing solid-state drives, so something might happen on that front, which would speed this stuff up a little bit. Probably not a little bit, probably an extremely large amount. I have a solid-state drive in my computer, but I built this computer a very long time ago at this point, and it was when solid-state drives were still crazy expensive. So it's a 32 gig. That was probably $170 or something. It's just large enough to hold my OS. All right, come on, loading bar. You can do it. I believe in you. Just go. Just go that last little bit. We were just looking at the world map. I don't know what could possibly have happened here. It had to unload all of the world map textures to get all of the giant in there. He's got a big data footprint. Look, it's right there. I think that it has stopped loading in protest. That's fair. Listen, I'm not going to say I was proud of the joke, but I long ago lost the ability to feel shame. Alright, reoccupy. This is mine. Okay, just 10% physical resistance for Ungrim. Still, totally fine. It's a very good trait. And we killed their superfluous wizards. And it looks like the only thing we actually lost was one of the units of Giant Slayers. That super damaged unit of Longbeards managed to hold on. Even more gyrocopter buffs. They're great. We're totally going to use more of them soon. How far away are we from having... Okay, it's actually an extremely long time before we can hire giant slayers at that region locally. So I guess we could just grab another gyrocopter, or how long until the Ironbreakers are available? I kind of want this army to just keep moving, although I guess we should stay put for 2 turns to heal up anyway.
Yes,
Yeah, alright, we'll just chill for 2 turns. That's fine.
Lord of Clan Morgrim.
Not totally ideal, but it's fine. Okay, we do still have some building to do, of course, as always. Gotta improve those barley fields. Forever improving the barley fields. To some, this may sound like a Sisyphean torment. I have to imagine a dwarf would be fine with it. An afterlife that's just non-stop work in the barley fields. Alright, Waldenhof probably no longer actually needs this upgrade, but just in case, yeah, I don't trust these Empire dudes. Just in case they decide to get a little squirrely on us. And I guess a trinket maker? Or nope, growth. Right, what was I thinking? Let's finish this off. The settlement building is actually generating quite a bit of income itself, in addition to, obviously, the extremely large amount from this gold mine. Okay, well, we're going to be waiting quite a while on this one. God, I have so many settlements that are so close on population. Okay, that was a productive turn. So we do have some more quest battles coming up. Like I said, we got to push through Fyldorf first, though. I think that's the smart way to do this. Maybe we'll get lucky and the Empire will already be working on the von Karsteins from the other side. Like pushing toward the Grimhold or toward Wissenland. And then we gotta worry about even more greenskins over here. Military alliance, wow. Trending toward 709. We sure are friends, aren't we? Do I want to try to confederate him? I don't know. I don't really want to have to administer all his territories. I don't want to have to administer all my territories, frankly. Very curious to see what Tilia's plan is down there. Also, I have to say, I set their animations to fastest, right? Apparently that camera button click didn't register in time. Those animations are not as fast as I was expecting. Maybe I only set them up to fast. I guess if we confederated Angrund, we would get a lot of territory that we can use to heal. Although it's all kind of out of the way, right? Angrund's stuff is all, like, down the coast here. Places that we will never be. Wow, I'm super glad that I saw that. That was very much worth waiting for the camera move. Okay, what on earth are you guys doing? Are you just headed towards Stone Mine? Or nope, they left Bitterstone open and it has become a target of opportunity. But they only sacked it. Like, that can't be good value, right? There's no way that an orc settlement in the middle of nowhere, just sitting in the Badlands, actually had any money in it. I appreciate these beastmen showing up and annoying my enemies. Obviously, we're still going to kill them because they're beastmen, but it's nice of them to help out a little bit in the meantime. Alright, a little bit more income, definitely justifying... That's not the button I wanted. Here we go. Definitely justifying continuing to fill up this... What is it, our 6th army? So yeah, we probably don't need this. I think we're doing quite well on diplomacy. I don't really care, but hero actions are so cheap. Settlement buildings are, for the most part, not really giving us a lot of money, although I guess Castle Drakenhof is something. Leadership plus 10 when under siege is kind of irrelevant. This would save us a lot of money over the course of the game, but... Honestly, I think it's time. It's time to start getting military tech. It's time, well past time, honestly. So, which direction do we want to go? This way generally leads toward range stuff. Rangers, Thunderers, yeah, like... I think artillery buffs are pretty good. How far do we have to get down this thing before we start seeing the Longbeard buffs? There's some buffs here for general units. Recruitment cost is pretty irrelevant. I do like 10% weapon strength. Man, these are very incremental, though. These are not actually even good techs, most of them. Minus 5% upkeep for, like, all of the good units is okay. It would be better if I was on those units. Wait a minute. There's more tech tree! I hadn't tried to scroll at all, because I could see the end of the part that we were actually working on. Okay, so that's pretty significant. A plus 3 casualty replenishment rate for everybody. Also, local recruitment slots, bonuses for Slayers are all the way down here. Why are the bonuses for Slayers at the very, very end of the tree? That seems kind of crazy to me. Well, our melee units are getting chewed up pretty badly, and our ranged units are holding their own, so I think we should probably embark on the melee side of this tree. Not that our melee units are losing or anything, but they're getting much more wounded than I would like.
You know who I am.
Alright, who wants to come and burn Fildorf with me? Okay, so the crossing's right about here. You get to be the scout. Alright, I didn't expect there to be any resistance. So we probably want everybody to come forward, right? Although maybe I'm trying to min-max my XP too much here.
Moving out.
Alright, get on the edge of it.
The wisdom of Valea.
Where's the little guy?
Master of runecraft.
That little guy, get over here.
Getting out of here. Yes. By the crush there is will.
So yeah, we're all just running through on our way to Karakern.
March.
And this thing just burns because it is convenient for it to burn.
To battle.
And again, we could take all of this territory and we could hold it. It wouldn't, like, be a big deal. But the amount of money we would make off of it is pretty small, and I... Oh, yeah, you totally can bring 4 forces. I guess he... No, he was definitely in reinforcement range, though. I don't know. Weird. Anyway. Zombies and bats. 6. Hey, that's about right. I think that's about the right number. Honestly, I would expect to lose nothing here, probably. Yep, just burn it.
What?
To the ground with it. Okay, that's a pretty good find. Dawnstone is a nice item.
Unto glory for the ancestors.
Some of you can keep moving.
Got. How can I help?
Raising only uses up all of the movement allowance of the army that actually initiated the
Summon
battle
me
action.
if you dare.
What was I doing with you? It looks like I did not even have a plan. Well, it would probably be a good idea to get some of our people up to Lightning Strike. And, like, how many people do we want to have with Lightning Strike? Inspirational Leader is also very, very good. Let me see.
Lord of Clan Morgrim.
Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. We'll blue line this guy. I see, I had started taking Tactician already. Okay, we'll blue line the other guy. The other new guy. It is nice to have a couple of people with about half of your army, as I have said many times, having lightning strike. Alright, Kurgan, just cross the ocean. There's not a lot of islands between here and there. I don't suppose there's really much of a reason to cross anywhere in particular. Just go west. Just go west as hard as you can. I have no idea what the other continent is going to look like. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're just headed south. Take out a bunch of these little minor settlements over here. Unless, would it be better for me to head this way? The Tillians do not have this under control. And we don't currently see Ironhide, but we know he was at Stone Mine Tower. Yeah, I'm gonna have Craig Strongarm cross the Badlands over here. Let's make sure this area is under control.
I must fulfill my Slayer oath.
You're still recruiting for one more turn.
I answer to clan and hold.
Alright, this guy.
Target these old splitters.
Get him.
What orders?
There you go. Yeah, early on, each successful hero action is worth, like, a little bit over a level. That slows eventually. Alright, now for the fun part where we click through and try to figure out how many of these places actually should be upgraded. We're definitely doing that. So actually, I guess at this point we can probably just click off, because 3,000 gold is not enough to upgrade any of the settlements that I would actually want to upgrade, which is to say the ones that have very high population. Alright, so we'll just take a little break right here at the mouth of the pass to Karakern, and then westward to do horrible things to another population of people who are supposed to be dead. Who probably are dead, to be fair. Oh, okay. Belagar showed up. But, man, the AI loves to sack stuff and run away. I've never really understood that. Like, if you're in a position where you right this turn need an infusion of cash to build something, I can understand it. Or if the number is just really extremely high. But even then, I don't usually think it's right to sack and then run away. You usually want to sack and then stick around to raise it the next turn. And again, like, these are just Badlands settlements. These are settlements on flat, bad, garbage land. There's no way they're worth much money. A non-aggression pact and you'll pay me for it? Yeah, sure. I have no particular beef with these wood elves. And apparently it is no problem for me that these wood elves are partly the wood elves that I was supposed to be killing. You know, I'm mostly glad that Kislev is doing so well, because it's nice to have a powerful neighbor who has your back. But also I'm kind of disappointed because it's really reduced the amount that I need to fight Norskins. Maybe I don't need all four of these armies over here. Probably what I'll do is I'll split them into two groups of two. Once we're a little more full up, we'll send two of them against the vampires, and then Grombrindle and somebody else will go north a little bit, fight some greenskins a little bit, and then head up to Norska. Because he does still need to win two battles against greenskins. With Thorgrim and the Rune Lord, maybe, can finish off the rest of the vampire armies. Now, you know what I probably ought to be doing is trying to use Ungrim to clear a path to the Khemri so that I can trade with them. Because they like us quite a bit. We could definitely get that trade agreement going if we just had a land route to them. And somewhere, this Troll Skull's rogue army has been around forever. I bet they have actual territory by now. So hold on, let's take a quick look at the map here. So I probably don't need to take too much territory. What is this right here? This belongs to Karakazgal. Okay, if we get Karak Azgal, I think that might be enough to get us a trade route with the Khemri. So that's going to be our goal.
I grow restless.
This army should, I think, be able to advance. Although, hold on.
Yes,
He's in quite good health.
my vows will be
His army as a whole is in quite good health. Don't we have another quest battle to do? Is that the only one with him? It is, okay. Zacharias von Drac and his army of terrible chaff. Reinforcements expected, of course. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Let's do that. At some point, we are going to be done fighting vampires, I swear. Plus 8 armor, plus 10% ward save. Yeah, this is pretty good. Well, hold on a second. Let me make sure that our army is set up well for this. The only dangerous units in this army are Black Knights, and we have a bunch of anti-large for them, and then Cairn Wraiths, who we're just going to have to hack through. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. They're hard to kill, but they're not that good at killing. And then they'll have some reinforcements. We'll figure it out. Oh, yeah, we can do this. We can do this. I think that's about right. This base army is extremely easy for us to beat. We shall see what the reinforcements look like. It might be a bunch more Black Knights coming in from the sides of the map or even directly behind us. Who knows? The undead adopt a defensive stance around their lord. Pale skeletal warriors await the dwarfs in a silence broken only by mindless moans of numberless zombies and the feral cackling of ghouls and other nameless horrors. Ungra must strike, and strike now, for who knows what is being called to undeath from within the cave. What is being called to undeath from within the cave might well be the thing that is the reinforcements. That could be concerning. It also could just be like a unit of crypt horrors or something. I think this is our first legendary item, so I would expect the ending battle to be a little simpler. It's just that I haven't really spent a lot of time pursuing quests, because we've been busy with all of the vampires. I gotta say, though, I've been having a lot of fun with this campaign. This is a really good one. Some people have asked in the comments if I could just keep doing Total War stuff after this is over, and I think that's very likely. I think we'll probably do another Total War campaign, but that's kind of looking into the future a bit. I think this one's going to be kind of long, so we'll worry about that when we get there. To be perfectly honest, as long as this might end up taking, what with us having to go all over the world, the next campaign pack might be out by then. They have said, by the way, that that is the next thing, another campaign pack. And for reference, campaign pack refers to the kind of thing that the Rise of the Tomb Kings expansion is.
Slayers, I see before me the Zangunas and its filthy minions. Even now, the vampire stands there, chanting filthy Umgi spells, trying to summon some abomination. It is time to fulfill your oaths made in Karak Kadrin. Slay everything that does not draw breath, and if some beast does get pulled back to life, then I relish meeting it in battle. Now we move. Charge for the honor of all Kadrin. Charge for your king. Charge for the Slayer crown. Charge!
Pretty sure that did he say Zangunas at the beginning there? That is a Khazalid word I have definitely never heard before. Alright, so they have absolutely no ranged and no flying. We can get really aggressive with the gyro bomber right away, so let's set it as far forward as possible. And that aside, I actually don't mind this formation too much. Let's put the Thunderers up on the hilltop a little bit. Unit of Quarrelers here, unit of Quarrelers here, and of course these guys here. And then we can actually, with these guys, just stack the Longbeards across the front of the ranged. So we don't have to worry about their ranged at all, because they don't have any. And then, as ever, just, be in a position to catch cavalry as they try to flank around, because they think they're very clever. I think we should be able to fire over the dwarves. Is part of the reason I wanted them on the hilltop.
Slayers! They have wronged us!
Okay, I think we're all in pretty reasonable positions now. There's a
Slayers!
bunch of slayers just kind of... Yeah, you know what? That's fine. That's an okay place for them to be.
Dino bomber!
And now we want to make sure that we are shooting at the cairn wraiths as much as possible. We can override their ethereality by just doing enough damage. I think that that's what the Skyhammer is on as well. Let's do some damage to these cairn wraiths. Cairn wraiths and Black Knights are the only things in this army that are at all dangerous. It doesn't actually say what kind of damage this is, but it's probably fire damage, so it will probably do full impact to the cairn wraiths. I probably don't want to drop the bomb on the middle part of the army that just got hit with the rock, because they're all spread out.
Get moving! Right!
It's possible that it would be wise for me to save some of these bombs for later in the battle, when the whatever shows up, but I think I'm just gonna get rid of some cairn wraiths here.
Nothing can stop us!
Yeah, alright, good start. And then, I guess we just, like, have at them. Turn off guard mode. Actually, let's focus on the one that's more damaged. See, it would be really cool if we could completely eliminate one of the units of cairn wraiths. They've ridden Black Knights out around us in a way that's not at all surprising. Okay, so these guys aren't even going for the flank. That's probably good for us. We'll be able to have the Giant Slayers do the thing I want them to do without having them be the ones to receive the charge. Make sure you're fighting, and of course, pop all your stuff. It's all just cooldowns.
We demand blood!
I think they're being clever.
Slayers! Move! Move it out! Where is Body Run?
Oh, the dogs got into the Giant Slayers. That's actually probably the best thing they could do aside from actually getting into our ranged. Let's see if we can give a little bit of support, because the Giant Slayers are not very tough. Let's try to get a little envelop here. Yeah, I don't know what their long-term plan is, but they'd better figure it out.
On my oath, they die! No beards! Attack the earth! That'll do!
Enemy Lord approaches. Yeah, true enough. These guys are definitely gonna get to just go wherever they want here, because I got distracted for long enough. These Giant Slayers are getting hit from both sides, but they're only getting hit from one side by skeletons, so could be worse. Actually, we should probably have some of the units from over here. They're also really far out of position. Yeah, we're just going to take a charge. Okay, I'm not going to have these guys chase. These guys need to wrap on those. Over here, we're just going to have to try to pull these Giant Slayers back fast enough to counter the cavalry charge. It's going to happen, but we can at least do some damage afterward.
Aye, as you command!
Just turn around and get them. Have at them.
I am the Slayer King!
The very instant he can waddle through the enemy lines, he's got to get that done.
Hurlers! Slayers!
Look at this cowardice.
Strength!
This is impossible to keep any of these enemy units from going wherever they want. Part of the problem with fighting cavalry is that cavalry mostly can just engage and disengage however they feel like. Oh, I guess this is the reinforcements. They've got a bunch of dogs and bats. Well, that's not that bad for us in terms of like long-term survival, but we are definitely going to take some losses. Get in there, make stuff happen. Oh, Ungrim's getting through.
Obey me! Alea's blessing on us. Hungry mind fish.
Speed boost. Pop all your stuff. Get him. No, don't get distracted by bats. Stay on him. Okay, he's already done almost half of that guy's health. That's a dragon. That is a straight-up vampire lord on a dragon. Okay, well, he's not the lord of this army, though. If we kill the necromancer, we're going to be... Oh, this is bad. Yeah, all right, if we kill the necromancer, we're going to inflict that serious penalty, that leadership penalty. You guys need to get back on your guns. Yeah, there's no way we're going to be able to keep any of the siege units on their siege stuff because there's so many dogs and bats. We just have to have units trying our best to kill everything. Okay, those guys are failing. Man, Giant Slayers beat the hell out of Black Knights. You can probably back off those guys. They're just going to die. Let's try to catch the dogs that are coming in here on the flank. Here's the Vampire Lord. That's a problem. Could we get some ranged on the Vampire? You guys are doing this.
They have wronged us.
The bats will lose in a battle with ranged, straight up. The bats will lose in a battle with almost anything. Oh, they just have too many units. Let's buff you guys up, and then I need him over here. Fortunately, it seems like everything that was trying to distract Ungrim has bugged out, so will give us a good chance of killing this necromancer. Nope, here comes some dogs. Well, still doing good damage to the necromancer. We got some giant slayers that are getting killed by just like nickel and diming them with damage. There's too many damn dogs and bats and stuff. Alright, giant slayers in on that guy. He's riding a giant dragon. That totally counts. Kill him. Are you still fighting this? He's a necromancer. I guess he's having a little bit of a hard time getting a swing in edgewise here. I'm gonna save his buff for when he's backed by more troops. Alright, the Vampire Lord is actually getting torn up pretty badly by the Giant Slayers. You got people dying, but we're also doing a lot of killing.
Take an aim! Killers! Right-o!
Yeah, fire into this crowd of dudes. Just get kills.
Ready to strike! Long be it!
Make sure you stay on those Black Knights.
I have wronged us! Super wizards! We fire on your command!
Where are... Okay, these are the guys who are right here. We could use a little bit of fire support directly thereabouts. And everybody else is disconnected from their siege weapons by bats and whatnot. Oh, you guys really broke and fled, huh? I'll see if you can get back over here. The dogs are distracted now, so... Alright, finally.
It is an order. To the Karazantur.
They just lost their lord, and their vampire is falling quickly.
It is a reckoning.
Those dogs are gonna try to stop Ungrim before he can chop this vampire lord in half. Nobody stops Ungrim. Yeah, look at that. He did it. One hit. Okay. We got there. And hey, look at that. The gyrocopter survived and everything. These quest battles do have a way of depleting you. But I think all of our artillery crews should actually have survived. Giant Slayers. Wow, 248 kills. I wish that it were possible to, like, during this loading screen, especially because of how long it can sometimes be, to just like click on a unit and get a more detailed readout of what happened to it during combat, because I'd love to know what these 248 kills were. Were these mostly dogs? It seemed like the Giant Slayers were really chopping up those Black Knights. One of the units of Black Knights only got 1 kill. So honestly, I'd be curious to know, of these 248, how many of these are real, actually dangerous enemy figures? Gyro Bomber has 8 kills, hopefully all Cairn Wraiths. I know there was a bug for a while, I guess I don't know if it still exists, that prevented you from... It didn't count kills that you got through certain types of abilities as kills for the unit. It only really counted the kills you got through attacking. So it might be that the Gyro Bomber got a bunch of bomb kills and they're just not tallied on the sheet here for whatever reason. And I'm sure that whatever reason is some like weird, dark, arcane coding magic. There's a good reason. Like, in order to make the spell function correctly, they had to treat it as though it was attached to an invisible unit that is spawned outside of the map bounds. Or you work on games for a little while and you will see some truly phenomenal hacks. Listen, we could have fixed the problem and done it right, but that would have taken 2 extra days, and who was going to find me the 2 extra days? So I think that's the last of Ungrim's quest items, right? He's now all... He has all of his legendaries, he's all kitted out. We just have to actually run the quests for Thorgrim and Grombrindle. I have no idea if those will generally be easy. I would imagine that Thorgrim's will probably be pretty easy because he seems to be extremely powerful. Not that the battles themselves will be set to be easier, but that he will make short work of them because he seems to be great. And Grombrindle's fine. Grombrindle's basically just Ungrim, except he has a ring that shoots fire. I do think Ungrim's better at the job of just like hunting down one guy and chopping him in half. Although, he did have an embarrassingly hard time killing this Necromancer. I wonder if this Necromancer is set to have, like, super high melee defense or something so that you don't kill him right away and trivialize the battle. Because dogs and bats have really bad leadership, and the extra leadership penalty from having lost your lord probably causes them to start crumbling right away. Uh-oh. My Total War Warhammer has... Okay. Second there I thought it was going to crash. I would have been very annoyed. Okay, so it looks like we only actually lost 1 unit there. That's alright.
Fulfill my Slayer oath.
Alright, so now we've got our crown. And our final level, which is going to be what? We finished this... So we could take a point of Thunderer, actually get the missile damage up for Iron Drake's cannons, flame cannons, and organ guns. He doesn't actually even have any of this stuff yet. And maybe he won't? But, like, what else am I going to do with 1 point? I don't think I see anything else where 1 point's going to be as relevant. Yeah, well, you know, we'll have flame cannons and organ guns in this army eventually, probably. Probably.
I am the Slayer King.
You also have a level. He actually does fight with his melee weapon. We might be getting kind of close to running out of greenskins, but then again, we might not. I have thought that we were at the end of our troubles with them a couple of times.
My anger burns bright.
Okay, I'm going to go back to normal movement mode because I do want to recruit a unit to jump into this army. Actually, maybe the thing we recruit should be a hero? Because we're under capacity on these guys.
Iron-willed.
What else could I get? What else would be cool? Right here, right now, at this moment, actually not that many things. Let's just get a unit of Slayers. Alright, so we'll threaten them next turn.
At once. dwarfs need me.
Everybody else needs to get in here.
Forward! For the wisdom of Valea. Shoulder axes, lads. We move. There's no bother. I'll do it.
Apparently I am just a tiny bit of movement short of being able to go... 2% short being able to go into encampment.
Summon me if you dare.
Oh, he didn't actually move in.
Beards in
Go.
belts.
Go. Alright, there we go.
By the bridge bearer's will. Vengeful Runelord. It's as good as done.
Are you going to be able to get in under 50%? You are not. Well, that's fine.
Good. Grimnir's axe thirsts.
Okay, we get a little bit of replenishment. You can actually get a little bit of recruiting done. What do I want to bring in for this army? Let's see, we're going to be going up against some vampires, some greenskins. I guess I should figure out who's going with Grombrindle North.
The White Dwarf. Armed and ready.
Do we want this guy with the... You know what, his army is more complete, so probably yes. You are going north with Grombrindle. So we're going to be fighting orcs and then Norskins. What's going to be good against Norskins? I don't remember if skinwolves are large or not. That'd be information that would be good to have at this moment. So we have a couple of organ guns. We probably have enough ranged to go north and fight stuff. I guess just bodies, right? Let's get a couple of units of slayers. And... yeah, sure. One more Longbeard. And then also, this guy can recruit the...
My anger burns bright.
Oh, I was going to say he could recruit the Regiment of Renown that we have still recovering, but I guess he actually has to be in my territory to do that, I think. Well... so we can have these guys strike out for, like, Carrick Ziflin. And then we'll just take and hold the mountain range. And then he can summon stuff from there.
Master of Runecraft.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so you guys are all good. Kurgan...
Onward.
you can see the vortex there in the distance. Kurgan's another couple of turns from making contact with anybody new.
An honor.
Thorgard just keeps taking swings at Azag.
Will I drink you?
So I need to be level 10. Okay, so next time I level up I can finish grabbing these. I guess let's gain some effectiveness in assaulting garrisons. This guy's whole thing can just be running around on the map weakening enemy forces before we hit them with our armies. I probably want to go ahead and upgrade... well, hold on. I think I want this upgrade more. No, I don't. I have plenty of income. Growth is what we need. Is there anything that like jumps right out at me as something I need to build here? Not really. Still 4 turns off on this. So I guess we're done. Once Thorgrim is healthy, we'll probably do that quest battle we have queued up with him. The legendary items you get from those are significant, valuable. And we probably are not going to need the full force of our armies to finish off the Von Karsteins. They seem to be doing pretty poorly. Either they are dead broke, or they're feeling very, very gutsy, coming to me with an offer of 300 gold. Audacious is maybe the right word. Let's see if, did we see Angren's turn already? We must not have, right? This guy wouldn't just be standing here in underway mode. Because this is about where he was before, isn't it? No, we must have. I thought Angren was toward the beginning of the order. Well, what on earth is this general doing? I don't know. It can be very difficult to comprehend the actions of the AI. I don't know why the followers of Archon so badly want an assurance that I'm not going to wipe them out. How do they think that would even work? I guess maybe they don't really know where I am. Just I'm a scary force out in the fog.
Aye, am Iron Fist.
I really, really, really don't need the AI getting me into a war with somebody that I would like to be friends with just because they think, ah, well, together we could take that guy. No loyalty. Alright, we're gathering the throngs. We got another runesmith apprentice. We got a pair of runesmith apprentices. Maybe the least useful follower in the entire game? Potentially? I'll be honest with you, I don't really feel that our warriors need much more in the way of leadership. I think we're pretty good on that score. I don't know why the camera's all the way over here, but it started by selecting an army that was all the way over here.
Don't you fret, it's done.
Alright, we don't actually have the ability to recruit at all.
You know who I am.
Well, like I said, we'll fix it once we have some territory up by Carrick-Ziflin.
To war!
And actually, Thorgrim's back to full health already, because that's kind of his thing. I always do that. I always click that button. Yeah, it's a scroll, and this is a scroll, and this is totally what I was looking for. So we want to just get our book, right? I see no reason not to go and just get this book. We should be able to take on this army of the dead, and it doesn't say there will be reinforcements or anything. I don't think this army is significantly better than the last one. And I do think it would have to be to have any chance of surviving us. Although, to be fair, I actually don't think Thorgrim's army is anywhere near as good as Ungrim's. Our army failed to spot an enemy ambush. They've launched a surprise attack, surely giving them the upper hand. Well, that's not great. I was kind of hoping to have some time to launch cannonballs at that Vargulf. But we've seen the Vargulf has leadership issues, and it crumbles quickly under focused ranged fire, so we'll just have to focus some ranged fire on it. We have a couple of ranged units here. We also have our miners with the grenades. This is a fell place. It reeks of dead Umgi. Of the enemy there is no sign yet, but Thorgrim must attend to claim vengeance on innocent Dowie that did nothing but travel through the area to make a just profit. The High King has sworn that the Damazkron will stay shut until vengeance is claimed. This sentence is written kind of strangely, this one in the middle here. Claim vengeance on innocent Dowie that did nothing but travel through the area. Like, the verbs are tensed all funny, and you get the vengeance for the Dowie, not on them, and I don't know. Listen, dwarves, yeah, they're English as a second language speakers, verb tenses and stuff, it's tricky. English is a tricky language. Hopefully, this will be the last quest battle involving vampires. We might actually almost be done with vampires. The thing is, like, we've been fighting greenskins way, way longer in terms of game turns, but honestly, in terms of actual minutes spent fighting them, I wonder if it isn't vampires that have the majority. And keep in mind, after we wipe out this faction, the Von Karsteins, it's not like we've wiped out all of the world's vampires. There are still vampire factions over in the New World. I don't know if they're still alive, but...
We come to Helfen, this fetid realm, to extract vengeance. A great wrong has befallen our kin. Innocent clans dwarfs on a trade mission have been butchered by the Uskala.
This fell deed has been entered into the Damaskron, and the cover slammed shut in rage. By my oath, it shall not be opened until the grudge is settled, until the bones of the undead are smashed to powder. Now, Dowie, take up your axes, for the undead will come to face us. They must, or I'll have every tomb, every cursed gravesite scoured from these lands, leaving these fell vampires with no puppets to command. Come then, Zangunas! Raise your minions! March them forth! The High King of the Karathankor would have his vengeance on you all!
So he just makes them all carry him around while he shouts speeches? Because, right, we're not expecting the battle. Right, that's the whole idea here. We think we're just walking through the forest, and he's just constantly screaming. Seems very strange. Okay. This is weird. The fact that one of our units is way off to the side out of the column. Generally, they have you marching in a column. So what do we have over here? Dogs and bats and... Looks like the heavy stuff is mostly up near the front, the Grave Guard and the Crypt Horrors. So we need to quickly get into some kind of defensive position around the ranged. Otherwise, we're going to lose them all right away. Let's try to have you guys like fall back this way. The rangers run over and get in front of you and hopefully intercept some of those dogs. And then a couple units of actual melee fall back here. This is actually kind of awkward because of this terrain blocking. Okay, let's... 2 units up there. Everybody else forward. Why on earth would we be marching the column with the Slayers in the front? Who would possibly give this order? I don't know what to do with these Slayers, but let's just pull them back into the middle until we figure it out. Okay. Good luck, us. I'm actually gonna command group these guys. So there are... Oh, the Vargulf is back here. That's not great. Uh-oh, have I set the cannons up down a hill a little bit? Shoot. Okay, we gotta roll them up a little bit. The good news is the Vargulf gets to eat grenades. Okay, we're bleeding it fairly quickly. Bats have fallen down here on the Slayers, which is kind of whatever. Crypt Horrors on this side we should be able to deal with. Don't think we need a leadership buff. Or a charge bonus buff, really. To nuke their melee defense, and... This battle is going to be kind of a mess. He is in Vargulf range. Alright, let him have it. Longbeards, just stand there and be tough for a while. We will save you, I promise. We will get to you. I'm going to make sure that I am manually targeting our catapults here so that nothing terribly embarrassing happens. I guess we can actually unit target those. Once the cannons get up on the ridge, they might actually be useful. You guys have that shot at all? Oh, I didn't actually move them forward far enough, probably. And there's bats. Of course there's bats. Can you guys turn around and handle the bats? The Vargulf's actually almost dead already. Dogs are coming in this way. Shouldn't be a problem. These units of Slayers actually should probably run up the road and get that flank on.
Strike out! Move now! Drang everything!
Drang everything. There's a dwarfen motto if ever I've heard one. That thing's falling apart. We're getting there. They're casting some kind of crazy vampire magic. Throwing axes at these guys. Okay, it's just about dead. Miners are probably going to die. Be my guess. These bats are still alive. Okay, well at least they're coming in to do melee here. Those dogs are dead, so these slayers can get in the battle over here. Actually, you should probably just shoot those guys.
Slayers! We do not loot! Axes out!
Leadership buff, I guess. Why not? There's no reason not to. Finish the dogs. One thing that's really annoying about these bats and wolves is that they seem to have the ability to make my units de-target them like, pretty much whenever they want. You guys turn around and finish that. We actually, we really have to focus on these animals.
For the ancestors! Miners! Nothing can stop us!
But the miners disengage from melee a little bit and throw some grenades.
Miners! Move!
Back up. Alright, dogs are finally dead. Okay, well the miners did not ever disengage the way I had told them to, so that's a bit of a bummer. Part of the problem is that the flag for these crypt ghouls is right here, but all of the crypt ghouls are right there. It's attached to one random guy who wandered off into a different place. So the game is sort of intentionally misrepresenting the game state to me a little bit, which I find very annoying. Are you kidding? How are these dogs still alive?
There is no greater authority. Long be it.
Okay, there is a single crypt horror left, so we can finish flanking these slayers all the way around. It has no health left and should be crumbling, so it should die any second now. There it goes. The crumble happens really, really slowly. Alright, there we go. Finally good. Everybody kill Gunter Stahlberg! Wow! Good shot there from the Master Engineer. Turns out they do carry a big hammer, just in case. Boy, he really laid that dude out. So yeah, this is why I wanted Thorgrim to be on South duty, because now he's going to need a little bit of time to replenish. This gives him a minute to sit around while his the other army that's going with him is actually doing some recruiting. So with that, I think we're most of the way done with our legendaries. We have we have 2 left with Grombrindle, and unfortunately we are nowhere near done with those quests. And then we have 1 more with Thorgrim, which requires somebody to move to Zoishenk, which I guess is something that one of the 2 anti-Norskin armies is going to have to do. Or we could just hire a unit. Because actually, I was planning on having the anti-Norskin armies run up and then hit Norska from the west. Because we're already so far west. So yeah, we probably ought to just hire a unit and have them run up to Zoishenk. That is a surprising number of kills for a catapult in an ambush battle. How did it get 337 kills? What was it shooting at? It must have been landing shots in the middle of dog packs or something. And you know what? I'm actually not sure how kills get counted when vampire units crumble. Like that crypt horror that just died due to crumbling. Did that kill get awarded to somebody? Because I wonder if that's what happened here. Is that this guy, for some reason, this unit got awarded a disproportionate number of the crumbles. I can't imagine he actually got 337 kills. That seems crazy to me. Especially given that, like, the Rangers were pretty much exclusively throwing axes at dogs and bats, and they only got to 50. And honestly, I would expect that a unit of Rangers and a unit of catapults firing into masses of really weak units for the same amount of time, you would see more kills on the Rangers, because each axe is, you know, potentially going to get a kill, and each catapult shot is going to get maybe multiple kills, but there are just so many axes over any period of time than there are catapult shots. Anyway, then we got back to the campaign map, right? Right? I thought that might prod it along, out of embarrassment. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll go buy a solid state this weekend. It's probably worth the investment.
Bearers, let's march!
Alright, Great Book of Grudges. Seems fine. All 4 of his slots are legendaried out now, which is cool. Look at him. Look how purple he is. Alright, and then we were getting red line skills for him. You know, Longbeards, Hammerers, Ironbreakers, and Slayers. This is a pretty good skill. Oh, we actually got 2 skill points out of that, because the quest gives a bunch of XP as a reward. And we didn't actually lose any units, so a couple of turns of standing here in friendly territory and we'll be right as rain.
I agree.
Yeah, actually I think 2 turns ought to have a solid full.
For the wisdom of Valea.
So you guys are gonna run north. As soon as these guys are done recruiting, we're gonna have Stromny Skolson start recruiting. I guess he can go over here and stand by Thorgrim just in case, you know, a von Karstein army shows up or something.
I am the White Dwarf. Time for a reckoning.
Okay, yeah, they'll be able to march at the beginning of next turn. For some reason, we can move slightly further if we go this way. Maybe it's that whirlpool. Movement does get weird around the whirlpools, I know that. Okay, Craig's Strongarm can probably just go over here and start taking stuff. It looks like Angrand and Tilia have drawn off the defenders of this area, so...
Getting out of here.
Bitterstone Mine falls easily. The Dragonhorn Mines... Okay, they're not a large settlement, they just have walls. Okay, we can deal with that.
The throng is mustered.
A walled small settlement garrison is generally not a good match for a full 20-unit army. Let's go light up this garrison a little bit. Oh, he causes fear when fighting greenskins. It's a shame he probably will never actually be in combat. I guess since this is what he's going to be doing, as we'll have him get better at that. And then, I think we're actually pretty close to having an upgrade to do, right? Hold on, let's... Somewhere was pretty close. I guess it's probably Nashrak's Lair. It's pretty close, so 3 more turns yet. We could probably stand to upgrade this. How far are we from... Okay, we're also 3 turns away from Karaza Karak. That's probably actually what I was thinking of. 16 turns out here. We could accelerate that a little bit, probably. Get at least a turn or 2 off of that. How far are we on Karak Kadron? Also 3 turns here. So we're going to need, like, a lot of money pretty soon. What is the cost of this? 7,200. Okay, we're about to drop, like, 35,000 gold or something on settlement upgrades. Well, I think that, unfortunately, is going to have to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see these 4 armies split up and hopefully just make mincemeat of all of our enemies. And we'll see you then.